interesting topic. The topic is not written actually, it is just going to be a candid kind of topic where I'm going to talk about the relationship. Recently when I went out, I met one of my friend, and she asked me like, how long you're married? I just mentioned 14 years. It's going to be 14 years this December. And she was like, how does it work, like, being married for 14 years? I was like, for a moment I just thought like, I did not have an answer actually. Well, I like my married life. I enjoy it, whatever it is, like, however it is. It's mine for sure. So, having thought about it, well, I said that it is a roller coaster ride, because there are days which are good, which are bad, which are happy, which are very sad, and a lot more. But then, since I was sitting today and thinking about something else, and suddenly I thought I should talk about relationship things, like, because it's going to be helpful for others also. So I decided I'm going to talk about 5 things that are needed in a relationship based on my experience. Stay tuned for the entire video, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, let's start with the first one, which everybody knows: communication. Now, what does communication mean? Communication does not just mean that you keep talking and the other person keeps listening or something like that. Like in our relationship, we keep talking about things, everything. Like I can share anything with my husband. Like for example, if I like somebody, if I admire somebody, I just go and tell him that I admire him. If he likes something, he can come and express it to me. So basically the point what I'm trying to tell is that you have to tell what you go through, what you feel. For example, there are some days when I am really very low with energy, and I'm sure he doesn't understand that, nor he has time to notice me, maybe because he's busy with his work. But if you do tell him, he will understand that. He can help you somewhere, he can sit beside you, he can take care of you, he can take you out for dinner, he can uplift your mood the way you want it maybe. So the communication is one of the key factor, because it is very obvious that no one can read your mind, no one can understand you unless you express it. If you express it, there can be better ways, better things, better happy relationship for sure. The next important topic is trust. Now, trust is not just that you say blindly trust, because the word itself is pretty heavy. Trust is something that you know the other person so well that if somebody is going to say a wrong comment about her, you can stand for it. Like no one can say anything bad about my husband. For all I know, I will never believe it, because I know my husband very well. So same way, I'm sure he knows me very well, because he makes fun of me at times, but he knows me very well, because he knows that where I can go wrong, where I can't go wrong or something. So the trust factor is that you have to stand for each other. It's just not that you tell that you trust the person. You have to stand for each other and support each other no matter what the situation is. The next point would be respect. Now, the respect does not mean that you just say stand and say namaste or whatever, that kind of thing. It's not that kind of trust. Trust is accepting the person the way he is. Like maybe it could be like, since mine is an intercaste marriage, so we have to respect each other in many terms, in terms of our religion, in terms of our living, the way we think, the way we are actually, because we are two different individuals who are coming from a different culture itself, because he has got his own traditions that he follows sometimes, which I have my own traditions, my way and everything. So the whole thing has to be respected. It's like you have to stand for him wherever it's required. You have to stand for yourself, he has to stand for you as well. These are all things that go a long way. They look really very tiny or nothing so great kind of thing, but eventually that makes your relationship stronger. So the next topic is going to be fight fair. Like when we got married initially, there were a lot of fights happening. It used to be like small things, but they mattered a lot again, because what I would say, he would take it wrongly. What he said, I took it wrongly. It went on for some, like first 1 or 1.5 years or something like that. But over the point, you start maturing and you start learning things. But it's very important to understand that, that you need to grow up as per your relationship grows. You need to understand the other person, and it's not that you need to reply just because you have to reply. You need to try to avoid the fights is one thing, but then the fights do happen. Like, in our case especially, fights used to happen financially, because we were really bad. So balancing those finances was quite difficult for us. So based on that, the fights would start. They would end up going to my parents, his parents, and a lot more. Like, of course we would not hit each other for that matter. Of course we used to scratch each other, and yeah. So the point is, you have to be calm, sometimes step back. If he's upset, you try to understand his mood, his situation. Maybe he's come from a very tiring day at the work, or it's okay, you have a point to say. Try to say if he can listen. You know your husband better, like, so if not at that point, step back and do share your point and views at some point of time during that day or the next day. It is not necessary that you have to give out everything right now and get an answer right now, because it doesn't work that way most of the times, like, and when there are two people heated, it just becomes worse. So it's better that one person becomes more intelligent and takes a step back, because you're not going to lose anything. At the end of the day, it's all you're working together, and it's a teamwork. The next point would be, keep it realistic. In terms of, we have a lot of expectations every time, but believe me, it's not easy for the other person to meet up to those expectations, because especially in my case, I'm very fancy person, like, because I live sometimes in a dream world, like, where everything looks like 0, 0, 0, and I want it that way, and it's very difficult for the other person to keep up to that. So the point is, eventually I have learned it, and I have understood that it's not going to work that way. Like, he's very sweet, he's a very sweet person, he's a very mature person compared to me. Actually, he's very intelligent as well. So the point is, you have to know what works with you both. Like, you can't expect him to compliment you every day, but of course he's going to, when he compliments, you need to accept it also, because when somebody compliments us, it's easy for us to say you're lying, like, this is one of the common thing. So expectations is one thing that we need to not have in the relationship, at least most of the times. Okay, sometimes it is required, because on a birthday you expect him to do something special, he should expect that you should do it. Certain things are okay, but then having expectations in everything may not work actually. So these were the 5 important points that I had to discuss regarding relationship. A relationship does not go with points that I might have discussed for everybody, but this is how it is actually. Now regarding marriage, things completely change once you get married. No matter how rosy the life was before marriage, that is, in your parents' house, it was a different living lifestyle you had. When you fall in love with a person, you have a different world actually. Like, you tend to, it is a different dreamy world. But when you get married, it's another world in itself, because things change, priorities change, your needs change, and a lot more. You become more responsible, not just you, your partner also, because especially a man changes a lot. That's what I have seen over so many years now. I see in my life also that he has changed a lot. He used to take a lot of time to meet me, to talk to me. He used to be happy to talk to me also. But maybe since we are together, things become very granted kind of thing, which is common in every relationship, I feel like, But having said that, it is very important that you need to give time for you, for him, for you both together, including your families. You have to keep that spark in your life alive, what was there before marriage, if it's a love marriage. If it's an arranged marriage, then a little things are different, because you tend to know the person as the time passes by. But in love marriage, the things are that you are knowing the person at least 20-30%, I can say, like, So one is that. Second thing is that we get busy at some point of time because of our own commitments, our requirements, our necessities. Most importantly, financials, because most of the time we run behind finances, so that we have a better life for today, tomorrow, for our kids and everybody. But it's very important that you take time for yourself and for your spouse, so that you have you can together do a lot of things more better way. Like, a happy life can give you more better things ahead, like, a calm mind, a happy face. It can help you glow your skin, have a better relationship and everything, and a lot more things. I'm sure many of you all know about it. So it's very important that as a couple you do a lot of things together. not individually. You are not individual once you get married, because you both are one, like, you know. So here, these were the things that I discussed based on my relationship, based on my experiences, based on what I learned, and everything. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned for more such topics which will be coming ahead. And thank you for all the love and support. This is Lavina signing off. Thank you.